That's way too far for me. I will, however, move up to this next tree. How did you get that all far away? Do you see where those guys are? These guys are ridiculous. I can't even hit that, but then again, my proficiency sucks butt. What is up, everybody? This is General Speer here, and welcome to a brand new series and episode here on the channel of Freeman Guerrilla Warfare. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all have a good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. So this game, for those that don't know about it, this is actually a fairly new game to me. It came out a few years ago, and this game, for anybody that has followed my my Mount and Blade series of both like the Clone Wars and Wookiee campaigns and everything, this game plays very, very similar to that game. It's essentially the modernized Mount and Blade, which is pretty darn cool. And what's really cool about this, and we'll see this in-game in a bit, is that it's both first-person shooter and RPG, which is pretty darn cool. So we're going to go ahead and start a new campaign, and while we're at it, we can go to normal, realistic. I'm going to go normal, and this is kind of the beginning bit of what we have going on here. So this is kind of the dialogue that we can choose that kind of dictates kind of what we start with. Under what circumstance were you brought to the war-torn, bandit-ridden island of Cherniv? I've played around with a couple different scenarios before. The one I like the most, and especially for this particular kind of RP series that I'm kind of treating this as, is this one. I am an army officer. For my actions, I was dishonorably discharged, and a few loyal men deserted to join with me in my undertaking. So this is one where this is, I think, the only, if not one of the few, sort of influences that basically can have people join with you right off the bat. You actually don't have to purchase people right out of the starting gate. You have a few that you start with, and dare I say that the people that you get are pretty darn good. We'll see here in a moment. Before being thrust into Wars of Cherniv, what other experience and skills did you have? These are kind of the different stuff here. The one, and this is where I kind of get a little bit more personal, I think, and I'm going to choose this one. I was once employed as a PE teacher for a local middle school. This is not actually 100% accurate, at least this statement isn't. So what this is kind of in reference to the fact that I actually coached archery for about 3 years in college, and I was actually a certified coach for all that time, meaning that I could train anybody in the United States above a certain age level, and I could teach them collegiate level archery, meaning that somebody could go to the Olympics with my level of teaching and everything, which is pretty darn cool. I am no longer certified. I have not actually gone through the process of recertification just because I don't really have time to teach anybody archery at the moment, but I do have more or less the knowledge still at this point. It just would be a matter of getting recertified. But yes, I was once employed as a PE instructor for the local middle school. In real life and actuality, I was a archery coach. So there's that. Did you have any hobbies that prove useful to your survival in Cherniv? This is also where it gets a little bit more personal. As much as I would like read books and do history biographies and everything, the other thing that I would do is I'd like to gather with my buddies, hiking, climbing, and outdoors. This is in reference to when I was actually in Scouts for a while, which was a lot of fun. So I did that. I am going to go with there is much we can learn from books. Because I have been reading more in recent years than I have when I was younger. I did not like reading at all when I was younger, and in recent years I was like, you know what? I've grown to appreciate this, so I'm going to choose this one. We go about war in many ways, but what factor do you personally feel is a priority for victory? This one's kind of a self-explanatory, like, I don't exactly know how this affects the stats on the battlefield, but I know for the long run, strong economic support is what we need to ensure our soldiers are properly equipped. And that's pretty much true for any game of this kind of caliber. The other thing that I would probably choose if I didn't choose this would be, with careful tactics we can outwit them and attack while they're at a disadvantage. For the most part, at least in the early campaign, we're going to be at the disadvantage just because we don't have the numbers. So I'm going to go with strong economic support. So we're going to do that. Alone, you spotted a group of hostiles on top of a mountain ahead. They haven't noticed you yet. What would you do? And this is definitely what I would do. Make my way to a subtle vantage point and snipe them from afar. That is completely what I would do, just normally. Don't know if that's the proper tactics, but that's definitely what I would do. The sound of battle approaches and you will reach the gates of your village. What do you do in preparation? So there's actually a couple things that I would typically do here. It's just a matter of choosing which ones. Let's see. There's this one, which is our survival comes first. I will lead everybody out of the village as much as we can. With as much as we can carry and escape. There's that one. The other thing that I would probably do is I would hire as many mercenaries as possible to fend off the attackers. And a lot of these are, I think, situational. Depending on the scenario that's presented towards me, like if it's a small group of bandits and I'm, pretty well equipped, then I might be all right fending them off with what I have. However, if it's a large enough group, especially if it's early on, especially if we get to the chance to take a town, this might be more or less what I do first, is getting as many people out as possible and going from there. So, good that. Alright, so we've answered all the questions, and now we're in character customization here. So, I'm going to first immediately go with my name, General Speer, and we can choose either male or female, which is pretty cool. We got different head shapes, different facial textures and everything, eye color, hair, which is pretty cool. Same thing for males. Given I played this a little bit already, the texture stuff that I really like has been kind of along the lines of this, more or less. And these days I wear my hair something like that. I am definitely not that blonde. I'm a little bit lighter than that. I'm technically in between this blonde and that blonde, somewhere thereabouts. Actually, that's brown. So that brown and this blonde. But I'm closer to this, just kind of overall, so I'll go with that. Alright, and we had a little bit of a freeze moment there when I hit OK, because things are just kind of loading in, because that's kind of the end of the customization. But we are here with the message screen of Cherniv. So welcome to Cherniv. It is a beautiful land filled with riches ripe for the taking, but you are not the first to come here. The pawns of front, the Chernivkan Vanguard Army, the Ottov Federation, the Uman Brotherhood, powerful forces have already buried their claws deep into this land, seeking to claim it for their own. What you do here is up to you. Will you play by your morals and save the people from fires of war? Will you seek to plunder the lands for yourself, or would you perhaps bring your own justice to these lands, protecting the innocent and smiting all those who dare oppose you? The choice is yours. If you need help by starting out, the question mark in the upper left corner, right up here, can help you get your bearings. Whatever it is that you choose to do in Cherniv, remember that there will be consequences. Wars will be fought and lives will be lost. Good luck. Okay, so this is kind of the opening map. We are in a pause point right now, and I am actually going to go ahead and turn down the music a little bit so it's not blasting in my ear too much. So this is the map, and it's actually pretty massive for being an island. There's a bunch of things. There's several factions. There's also some pirate bases, some raiders, some bandit camps, some looter camps, so of different varieties and types. And it's gonna be quite a bit to where we're able to take on the bigger fish. The looter camps, you know, we'll eventually work up to, and same with the other areas. The bigger factions is that's gotta be a bit until we get there. So what we're going to do first is I want to show you off what's happening here. So we got our inventory, which is right over here. This is kind of our equipment that we take on and off the battlefield with us, so we can have extra magazines that we can put in our slots here. Though this is for our pistol, so I don't really need it there, because I have my pistol slots down here. We have our level up tree over here. Now, given the scenarios of what we chose, this is kind of the starting layout of what we have. We have 4 out of 15 in marksmanship, 1 out of 15 in constitution, 2 out of 15 in agility, 4 out of 15 in leadership, 4 out of 15 in intelligence. Nice spread, not too bad, but you know, it could be better, of course, and it will get better. And then we have our skills, which we have command, prisoner management, instructor, inventory, marching speed, looting, medical, first aid, trading, diplomacy, and steel. And then we have our proficiencies. Now, you'll notice that the top here is our armor proficiency. And of course, as you can see, increase the armor point to equip better body armors. So, given how low level we are, given how much of a baby we are, we're okay in rifles. We could be better, but we're okay in rifles. And I'm actually going to end up getting myself an assault rifle. That will probably more than likely be my primary. If not, it'll be like my rifle will be my primary. You know, I'll eventually want to do a sniper rifle. But armor. This not only plays, each of these not only play in your abilities and usage of the weapons itself, but the armor, for example, tests your proficiency at how much the armor actually protects you. So this we're just gonna dump all of our weapon or assignable weapon points into armor right now, so automatically we get 40 out of 100 armor points, because that's going to be pretty important. What's also going to be important is medical and first aid, and I'm going to go ahead and put a few points into both of those right there. I am going to also go ahead and spec both my points of marksmanship up here, and of course, as you saw, that increases our assignable weapon points as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump even more into there. And we'll eventually, of course, get into our other weapons. Now, what makes this really fun overall as a game is not only is this an RPG, it's also a first-person shooter. But it's not like any first-person shooter like, you know, Call of Duty or Halo or all of the classic ones, where it's basically what you play as is a trained soldier with already pretty much, you know, no proficiencies. They're just, you know, it's lasers for weapons, essentially. What makes this interesting is that it's a first-person shooter in which you have this RPG aspect. You don't just go in and you're automatically good with a rifle. You actually have to train up to it, which is so cool. And you'll actually see that here in a bit once we actually start fighting people. The party Now, like I said, the scenarios that we had in the beginning with all the text and everything, there was the scenario that I had several men that deserted with me in order to come with me. These are the men that came with, and these are Federal infantry, and they are stinking good even at level 1. They are really, really good. They're not the best units in the game, but they are really good nonetheless. They're a really good starting unit. And there's a whole level up system too. So not only these guys are really good at level 1, they're also just going to incrementally get better, which is pretty fantastic. So, and they already have starting armor as well. They have weapons. By the way, unlike our primary character, in which we will have to eventually equip ammunition, and we will have to constantly be getting ammunition because we'll constantly be reloading, and then we're going to need to buy more ammunition because we've reloaded and used ammunition. These guys, all you need to do is equip the gun, and they have essentially unlimited ammunition, which is pretty nice. The only thing you really need to worry about are the slots down here, in which they are the usables, the consumables. So grenades, med kits, and other things like that. Eventually, because there's another aspect involved with this, which is really cool, there's also a daytime monitor, as you can tell. So there's morning, and it's 7 a.m. That once it hits nighttime, if we go into battle, that will be dark. There are, for sale at certain areas, or actually available at all areas, it's just dependent on what's available at that period of time in which we go to that particular town, there are night vision goggles. And just like with our character, which we will get night vision goggles eventually, our soldiers work the same way. If we get them night vision goggles, they will be much better in nighttime warfare than if they were during nighttime without night vision goggles. It's really cool. Here we have our prisoner menu. We don't currently have any prisoners, obviously, but here's where we can either execute, release, bribe them, torture them, or we can persuade to join them and everything. Of course, there's a compliance meter, of which we will eventually see. Quests, this is our quest menu. We will definitely be doing a lot of this in the beginning, because quests is how we get experience and money, and obviously, as you can tell, we have one right here, and this is one typically right down here for quests. There's an abandon button, meaning that we can, abandon quests if we're not able to actually do them. This one, we cannot do that because this is kind of the end game quest, so to speak. This is what we're working towards eventually, so that is okay. Info. This kind of gives you faction stuff as well as your relation to those factions. The Uman Brotherhood are kind of treated as kind of among the pirates, and they're pretty much, if I remember correctly, at war with practically everybody, or quite a few people at least. So there's that. Companions, I can't click on the companion menu at the moment, mainly because we don't have any companions, but there are companions in the game, which were very similar, of course, to Mountain Blade, and of course the mods that I play along with Star Wars Conquest and all of that. Trade, same thing. We don't have the menu up for right now, but trade, you'll notice that there's a message down here. You don't have a city to build a fleet. So once we conquer a city, eventually, we'll be able to build a trade fleet to be able to go and trade for us and get some economic growth, which is pretty darn fantastic, if I do say so myself. The other thing are achievements, and apparently, in this most recent update, or within the last month or so, or maybe a little bit longer, the achievement list is just kind of a way of doing stuff, and I don't exactly know what it does. I don't know if it offers experience or if it offers money. We will have to eventually check up on this and see, so it's going to be pretty exciting to play around with that. But, as you will have noticed, the only thing I have equipped on me right now is a pistol and a few magazines of ammunition for said pistol, and a couple of armor stuff. We currently have we have our salary right here, which there's 0. We're not earning a salary at all. There's 12,000 cash that we have right now, And then this is 20,000 faction money, which to my understanding is only used once we actually create a faction, which we can't create a faction because we don't have a territory. So that is that's for eventual use. We have our reputation right here, we have our morale, and then we have our food, which is pretty darn cool. So we're gonna go to the local city right here of Zanladiv. I'm gonna be pronouncing these names fairly incorrectly. Nice to meet you. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Okay. They're nice. Alright, and so here we are in the city. Mayor Olga. Or Olga's the mayor, basically. So we can have, we can have the ability to attack. We're not going to do that. Not now, anyways. And we have 3 different places. We have the marketplace, we have the barracks, and we have the bar. Bar is really cool. We could talk to the bartender and get some information and everything. I'd like to rent a hotel. We could do that. We can sell the prisoners. This essentially is our ransom broker. And then we have mission boards, which is pretty darn good. And the first thing that we're going to collect is this. This is a 2-star quest. This is definitely something that's doable right now. We need a reliable courier to deliver 5 beers up to Aber. You'll be paid upon delivery. And this gets us 284 experience, or no, excuse me, 284 monies, 142 experience, and a few white hoodies, which is not bad. There are definitely better missions, but this gets us a little bit of cash in our pocket, so let's go ahead and accept that. And I'm not going to accept anything else, especially nothing to do with Desert Marauders or Armor Marauders. Those are kind of bandits that are like really, really good. And you'll notice how much cash and experience they offer, but we are in no position to be able to take that kind of thing at the moment, so we're not going to do that. But we will do that one mission, and what's really cool is that right in our inventory, they put the beer slots right there, and so we're ready to head out whenever we're ready. So that's pretty cool. Barracks. I want to talk about this real quick. You'll obviously see that there's a ton of soldiers that we can recruit and a ton of different types. There are Sea Lion Special Force units, or special soldiers, and these are 1 soldier per purchase. So 1 soldier for nearly 50,000. So that's a lot of money. But you'll notice that this tick marker here, without equipment, significantly less. So we could feasibly buy a Sea Lion soldier right out here. But the first thing that I want to do, because I do want to do that, I do want to get some special force kind of stuff going on. In fact, let's take a look at these guys. So at level 1, their health is 197, which is not bad. Their marksmanship is 9 out of 15, which is good. Armor is 55 out of 100, 33 rifle, 11 SMG, But assault rifle, 82 out of 100. It's just insanity. So I definitely want to get one of these guys at least to go. And we're going to get them without equipment. But the really cool thing is that whenever we go out on a mission and whenever we earn experience, even if, let me leave here for a second, even if, because this is where the unassigned units will eventually be, even if they're not in our current squad, they will still earn experience just by, being around and everything. So that's pretty cool that's a thing. So we'll eventually be getting one of those. This is our merchants, and we have our gift shop here. This is where we can get gifts for companions eventually, which is pretty darn cool. We have our merchant for just general goods and stuff. What's really cool is that there's a whole trade system that's even better optimized than it was in Mountain Blade. So this trader will pay 126% for pottery because they want pottery goods. And it's just a matter of finding where to sell that, which is actually just as easy as finding information from the bartender. Do you have any valuable information? Sometimes this is definitely worth it. We have a lot of dried fish, and it's cheaper than elsewhere, and Robin demands it. So we'll definitely buy up some of the dried fish. Wherever it is. Do they have dried fish? Was it dried fish or canned fish? I actually don't know. But it was, you know, 50, so that's not too bad. But what I do want to do is I want to go to weapons. And this is where it gets a little crazy. So, as you can see, we have everything that we can use as far as weapons go. We have MP S5 over here. We have a PDR. We have a Skits. We have an R. We have a PKM, which is pretty cool. And you'll notice that there's the marksmanship requirement there. There's also the price, 11 grand or almost 12 grand for one of these. Jesus. It is a machine gun. We got a rifle there. Got an assault rifle there. This one, you can tell that there's a red around the marksmanship or the required marksmanship. We don't. That shows us that we don't actually have the required attribute level to handle this weapon. It requires level marksmanship of level 7, and if I remember correctly, we only have a marksmanship of level 6. So that's something to take into consideration. But what I want to do is I want to do... That's a VT. We could do a VT possibly. Could I do something else though? 7, there's a PDR. I could do this one, but I'm not. That's just too much money. 17,000, that's out of our price range. The Scar is something that I've considered wanting. But the L85, this is eventually what I want to get. So that's eventually what I want to get. And if I remember, it looks like it might come with a scope, which scopes. So this is aiming without magnification. There's a red dot sight. There's silencers here, but then there's this. You'll notice that this is a 6-fold amplification. There's 2, 4, 6, and 8-fold amplifications, and you'll notice 85,000 essentially. That is super expensive. It is ridiculously expensive, so we're not gonna be able to do that. What I think I will do, just to get kind of things started, is I will go for the VT14 here, just to get some things started, and it requires 762 ammunition. I'm gonna sell off those. Right? Was that it? Yeah, 762. Where are you at? There you are. I'm just go ahead and buy pretty much all of those. And we will use all those, definitely. And I'm also going to get myself a med kit. Actually, I'm going to get myself a couple med kits. And, oh, the binoculars here. That's not a bad thing to use. I'm going to go ahead and get myself a pair of those. I don't see any night vision, so we're going to have to hold off on that. But that's 6,000 right there. So let's go ahead and deal. So let's close that. Arms dealer. This is where we can get some helmets. I am going to get a helmet right now. And I also want to get myself a vest. I think. I'm just looking down the list here. Yeah, I want to get myself a vest. There's no goggles or anything. I can't get myself one of those. Be fantastic if I could, but I don't have any. So I will get myself a vest. That's another nearly 3,000. So I have 2,800 left. The question is, can I get one of these guys? I can. I will go ahead and get one for the time being. And that's pretty fantastic. Okay. So let's go ahead and equip our gear. So that gets us a little bit of protection there and everything. I am going to go ahead and equip my rifle. My binoculars are going to go down here. I'm going to have 2 of those. My ammunition there. I'll eventually put my night vision goggles there. And I'm going to go ahead and equip also my party with... I'm going to get at least 2 of these guys with med kits. And actually, I can even buy a 3rd one. I probably should, just to be safe. No, not that. I want to buy a 3rd one just so I have it for that 3rd guy. So let's go ahead and deal. And we'll get you that med kit. Pretty cool. All right, and there's our other guy here, our SEAL, who currently looks like that. Very under-equipped. He is not prepared at all to go out into, you know, into craziness. And this is going to be a bit longer of an episode because I do want to show you kind of some of the aspects. Quests. We are looking for Aber. Where is Aber on this map? That is the question. Is it a city or is it one of the smaller towns is the question. Oh, Aber. Please tell me it's not in the middle of all the territory here. This might even take me a bit to find it. Okay. I'll eventually find it. Some of you probably found it already. Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Some of y'all are smart. God, I can't find it for the life of me. Oh, pfft. It's right over here. It's just the... Oh, that's easy. That's super easy. Alrighty. And, just like that, we got our gear. Bartender, mission bards. Capture outlaws, deliver goods. Oh. Destroy bandit camps. We'll get an HMG out of this. Holy crap. No flipping way. Alright, well, I'm not going to take a mission right now. Because... Can I... Ooh. A discount on pearls. You don't say. I'll get those... I'll get those 3. Bartender. Zoira. That's where we're gonna head next. Where is Zoira? That is the question. There it is, right over here. It's leagues away. We'll eventually head there. Oh god. Oh dear. Oh boy. Now these are looters. And this is kind of our first battle. So we'll see how this goes. But what's fascinating is that this squad of Federation soldiers, well, you'll see how good they are.
I'm in position. Go, go, go!
Okay, we'll actually do that. And we'll head over this way. It's kind of an open terrain. But this is the other cool aspect, is that, you know, It's just so cool. Where are you guys going? Oh, I guess I did tell you to go over that way. I'll go with you. Because you guys are definitely better equipped than I am at the moment. Okay. Ooh, I see people on the horizon. I... Okay. Oh, I got a kill. Nice. Another kill. Nice. Very nice. There we go. There we go. See? We can handle our own. Granted, these are just looters. Okay. Gonna have my Federation soldiers advance. Okay. Now reinforcements are coming in. That is way too far from me. I will, however, move up to this next tree. How did you get that all far away? Do you see where those guys are? These guys are ridiculous. I can't even hit that, but then again, my proficiency sucks butt. Yeah, oh, I hit him. Nice. Of course, once we get our proficiencies up, we'll be able to, like, take down enemies like, you know, no problem whatsoever. Okay, there's the other enemy there. Cover over here. There we go. Nice. We've won, and we got experience out of that. We got 235. Credits earned 3,000, which is pretty good. And, oh, yeah, look at this. All the weapons and everything here. So let's go ahead and take all of that. And now what's really cool is if we go into our party, obviously, as you can see, everybody's leveled up, including our sea lion. If we put him in the inventory, auto level up everybody first off. We can give him some gear, and you're proficient in assault rifles. This is an SMG, that's a rifle. You're okay with rifles. It'd be better if you had an assault rifle. Yeah, let's just give you that for right now. Nah, no. I'm gonna wait until I can get you something better. But, you saw how well those guys took out everybody. So that's pretty cool. So we need to continue to head our way to, is it Zoira? Pretty sure it was Zoira. We've got a lot of looters. Okay. There we go. Marketplace merchant. 302. That's pretty darn good. So 900 out of that. Yeah, that's good. That's good money. We will go ahead and sell a lot of these this gear right now, because we don't currently need it. Deal. And, oh, Kevlar vests. That will be fantastic one of these days. But not this day. Oh, I want the Spectre so bad. Oh, the SSG-08. I can't have it, but I want it. I really want it. Let's go ahead and sell off these weapons then. I'm gonna go ahead and also get some more ammunition while we're here. For practically nothing. We still got a profit of 2 grand. Actually, over 2 grand, almost 2.5 grand. Which is pretty darn good. And we'll sell that. And deal. Excellent. Not gift shop. I wanted to go to the message board and see if there's anything that we can do. Reliable goods or deliver goods, we could do that. Plishkiv, we'll definitely do that. Important files, we'll also do this one, because that is something that we can do. So, but I think that's gonna do it for this episode. I'm gonna kind of just wait and pause here. Because we are at 42 plus minutes now. But thank you all for watching, everybody. I hope everybody enjoys this first episode. Thank you all so much. Feel free, of course, as always, to Hulk smash that like button, especially if you like the video. Definitely Hulk smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below if you feel like it. Go ahead. Also, if you're new, thank you all so much first off for stopping by on the channel. Feel free to hit that subscribe and notification icon so that you get all the updates on the channel. Thank you all for watching, everybody, and may the force be ever in your favor.